Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back. First of all, if you like to support me and the channel, my PayPal will be in the description, so thank you very much. I'm back with a brand new episode, part 2 of What If Naruto Had Infinite Strength, guys. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. If you're new, yes, I indeed have 3 channels which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. All the links will be down in the description, so go ahead and eviscerate that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we begin this brand new episode? Let's begin now, guys. So, the last part we left off, we saw Naruto Uzumaki face to face with a massive bear who was trying to eat him, but he was unfazed despite being a 6-year-old child. He wasn't sure why people treated him the way they did, why they react around him the way they did, as he doesn't remember doing anything bad to them in the slightest, so he was confused. But he was going to be starting the academy soon, so he was going to make some friends. Unfortunately though, he started to see that the academy students were much weaker than him. Naruto wondered if it was because of his strength, why people treat him so differently. Thus he started to hold back most of his strength when he did. In terms of his speed running, in terms of his throwing and lifting, Naruto held back a lot, like so much. But there was a problem though. Naruto lacked any fundamentals to use chakra. And after a while, Iruka brought it up to the Hokage, knowing that it would be hard for Naruto to become a ninja. Hiruzen's words depressed Naruto as he ran away, leaping over the village with a single jump. Hiruzen was shocked and confused. Naruto was prone to running away when things get bad. When he finally found him, he was seated in a crater, upset and crying. He brought him back. They wanted to find out just how was Naruto capable of doing what he did. Hiruzen told Naruto to hit the machine with full force, a specialized ceiling area that was fitted to test the strength of someone. Unfortunately though, saying that only pushed Naruto to hit it as strong as he possibly could. However, the space around Naruto could not handle his strength, as Naruto ended up flipping space itself by releasing a shockwave that blew everyone away. Luckily, he saved them though by moving extremely fast. It was a shocking realization. Hiruzen warned him to never attack any comrade like that, ever, as Naruto accepted his words. However, with this new revelation, there was a greater chance that he can become a ninja. Days passed by as they turned into weeks, as Naruto hung out with his friend Kiba since accidentally breaking Kiba's arm during the arm wrestling. Naruto and Kiba became great friends. He also got other friends from Kiba as well. You had Shino, Shikamaru and others. Naruto was happy. Yes, he was happy, as the stares and the looks no longer bother him that much, because he had friends that he could hang out with. Unfortunately though, when the graduation day came and Naruto passed, he got his headband from the Hokage. There was no family there to celebrate with him, so he made his way to the woods, unaware that Iruka was currently facing off against Mizuki due to his betrayal. As Naruto ventured out and put it to a stop, however, Mizuki revealed the greatest secret. Naruto was shocked and stunned, finding out that he was the host of the Nine Tails. He ran away like he always did. But Aruka's words reignite the fire inside of him, as Naruto did not know that Aruka cared so much. He warned Mizuki not to touch him, but Mizuki threatened to kill Aruka. Naruto was able to get behind Mizuki and grab him and throw him, literally so hard Mizuki started to burn, as it was like Mizuki was being dropped from the very depths of space into the planet. His entire insides and outsides were burned to a crisp. Only fragments of bones and pieces of him were left all over. Naruto's rage blinded him, and when he was angry he did not hesitate. One of Danzo's men was there as he watched the scene. He reported back to his master, as Danzo was shocked. Hiruzen was keeping this to himself, not telling the Council of Konoha about Naruto's expendable, incredible strength. Aruka was shocked beyond his wildest imagination, but because of Naruto he was alive. When the day came Naruto met his sensei, Kakashi Hatake, the bell test was supposed to happen. Kakashi was stunned. He expected a lot from his talk with Hiruzen, but not this much, as Naruto was able to root trees out of the ground like they were nothing, launch them towards the copy ninja, causing mass destruction and chaos. Kakashi looked down as he lost the bells. Naruto ended up forging another bells out of the other two, making the other two agree with him, showing them that they must work together after all. They were all about teamwork and, well, will of fire and that. You remember Aruka constantly speaking about that. Even the old man spoke about that. Kakashi was quite alarmed though, as Hiruzen was afraid. Yes, Naruto was a good child and showed no aptitude for betrayal, but whenever someone is born this powerful, there is always this fear of caution to be prepared for anything. And Naruto has had a rough childhood, the way the people treat him, but yet he never truly expressed those emotions. And after what he did to Mizuki because his anger leaked out, he was afraid that Naruto's anger might go critical one day. And that would be bad, extremely so for every single citizen of Konoha. That is why he wanted Kakashi to bring him into the fold to make sure that he's a part of Team 7, unity, control. Kakashi told him that he would do his best. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across and play check out for yourself. So to begin this new episode, we begin this episode with Team 7. How is he doing that? Sakura questioned. Even Sasuke was stunned. Kakashi sat under the tree, watching Naruto as his book was in his hand. Their mission was simple. They were supposed to weed out the overgrowth. And Naruto had the massive bucket as it was in mid-air. Only for a few seconds to them, but for Naruto it was much longer. He sped across the land. The movements that he made, you could see the weed in the air. When he zipped back to the bucket, pushing them down, doing things that seemed to make no sense most of the time. Kakashi had to order him to slow down so that the other members of Team 7 could actually participate. Then again, Naruto doing most of the job seemed to be fine with the both of them. After all, Sasuke believed that he was above this, and Sakura did not want to get dirty. And Naruto was quite fine with it. It was a good workout for him. After all, he had a lot of energy, incredible amount of energy, so he found it rather fun to do. But they were also members of Team 7 as well, and if they want to continue that way, they have to get their hands dirty as well. As the days went by, Team 7 continued doing their D-rank for a month and a half, until Naruto started to complain. He wanted something more challenging, something more difficult. After all, wasn't that the exact reason why they became ninjas? There was no hesitation as Sasuke sided with him. They wanted a difficult mission, as this was just a waste of his time. Thus they got one. The place was incredibly hot. As Team 7 was venturing towards the land of Wave, Tazuna, their client, as Sakura was questioning the man about the land of Wave, interested in their own little colony there, if they did not possess ninjas like the other nations. Konoha told them a lot, but there wasn't much about the other nations or how they go about things. Naruto was walking along with the group. So far things were going well. Having a team was pretty awesome, and going on non-stop missions were going to be pretty awesome as well, Naruto thought. Him casually talking to Sasuke was something that Sasuke was still not over yet. Most people don't just casually talk to him about, well, basically nothing. It's always something or another, but Naruto was different. And Sasuke actually spoke back, which got Sakura wondering how was Naruto doing that. However, if she took a look at herself whenever she talked to Sasuke, the constant stuttering or the constant, well, wanting to go out, she would understand, but she was young, so she did not in the slightest. Kakashi Hatake noticed a puddle. He said nothing though, as he passed it by. The sound of the demon brothers emerging from the water. As they dashed towards Kakashi, Naruto turned his head. Naruto's perception was much faster than most. Naruto saw the chain. His sensei not even looking. Naruto pulled a kunai out and threw it. He might have used a bit too much strength due to his worry for his sensei. The chain immediately snapped in two. The link cracking as Naruto kunai broke through it. The tip of the kunai breaking as well. When the demon brothers wrapped Kakashi, the chain simply fell down to the ground. They were confused as they saw a hole in the tree that was behind them. They were both confused, having not seen it due to the way that Naruto threw it and how fast he threw it as well. Kakashi theories were correct in that moment when they immediately disengaged. Realizing that they failed to take down the copy ninja, they went straight for Tazuna. Because this was going to be bad, facing him one-on-one. Even two-on-one was going to be extremely difficult. Sasuke did not hesitate as he jumped right in front of Miyaizu, who swung his hand. However, Sasuke was ready for that. He lashed out a kick. Miyaizu weaved underneath it though, and brought his gauntlet blade up to shred right through the Uchiha. But Sasuke placed his hand down on Miyaizu's wrist and turned and kicked him across the face, showing that he was indeed a Uchiha. He wasn't any average genin after all. Sakura jumped in front of the client. They bypassed her sensei. Someone had to protect the client. She looked at Naruto, but he was gone. Gosu felt his hands pulled behind him. Before he knew it, the chain interlocked his wrists and tied his hands up. Naruto then kicked his leg away as he collapsed face first. He was confused, wondering what the hell was going on, as Naruto stood above him. His brother over to the side recovered fast enough to swipe Sasuke, but Kakashi took him down with one hit. "I had him," Sasuke said, with a simple eye smile. "I know you did, but as your sensei, it's my job to handle the threat really quickly," he said. His continuous eye smile pissing Sasuke off slightly because he wanted to be the one to take him down. They come to find out that their client wasn't so innocent as they thought. In terms of building a bridge, he was being hunted, not just by your standard thugs, but by a very dangerous man. Time skip. Is it always so filled with mists? Sakura questioned, unable to see too far ahead due to the place being covered by mist. So much. As Tazuna spoke about the early mornings, yes it was. The group decided that they would continue on with the mission. as they were making their way looking around. Threats were everywhere as they stood in their formation. The further they walked, the deeper they went. Something was coming. Kakashi could feel it. He had no book in his hand, he was focused. Naruto heard something and decided to check it out, only to find out that it was a rabbit. He scared it. He tried to jump away, but it just wasn't fast enough, thinking that it was a predator about to grab it. He started to comfort the poor rabbit, as Sakura was standing there as well, comforting the rabbit. It was rather cute. Sasuke simply stood there. However, Kakashi noticed something. As Naruto let it go, it was a color. For this region, it was not a normal rabbit, it was kept in captivity. He snapped his head around. "Everyone, get down," he said, tackling Tazuna. Sakura jumped down, so did Sasuke. But Naruto simply turned his head. As he saw it, his eyes able to see the freeze in motion to see what it truly was. It was a sword. Naruto reached his arms out and grabbed the hilt of the blade. He did not move 1 inch as he held it with one arm. "Whoa," he said. "This is the biggest blade I've ever seen." Tazuna was confused as he looked up. How did he... Someone appeared on the very flat side of the blade. The person surprised that this brat could hold up the blade and his weight. But he saw what just happened. You know, you shouldn't touch what doesn't belong to you. Zabuza Momochi lashed out a kick, but Naruto raised his arm and blocked it. Surprising Zabuza, he pulled his leg back and flipped, launching another kick to Naruto's face. Naruto pulled back, releasing the blade as he did. Zabuza grabbed this blade and swing, about to decapitate Naruto, but Naruto weaved underneath it, dodging it rather easily. Zabuza turned it and brought it down. Naruto pulled back as it split the ground. Kakashi jumped in and sent Zabuza sailing, a brutal kick that slammed him into the tree behind them. The copy ninja then launched several kunais and shuriken. As Zabuza pulled his blade and deflect them, he swung, forcing Kakashi to jump back. He chuckled as he did, as he said the name, Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja. Over the month and a half, they weren't able to test Naruto's durability, as they weren't quite sure what Naruto could take. Attacking him with a force that could perhaps kill him would be a stupid idea. However, Naruto was tough, but he lacked the experience. He could react, but he could easily be outdone because he was new to all of this. And you had many ways for ninjas to use trickery against him, and this was one of the prime example. Unfortunately though, Naruto was ready, as Zabuza blanketed the area with mist. "Don't worry," said Naruto, "I got this." Naruto drew a deep breath in until his cheeks bulged. He nodded to Kakashi, who jumped away, realizing that this was going to be... The breath that Naruto exhaled was so great that he blew the trees. It was like a hurricane. A few branches were ripped off and torn. Even a few smaller trees were ripped out of the ground. Tazuna was baffled as Naruto sent the mist blowing away. The entire environment was cleared away immediately by him simply exhaling the breath that he gathered. However, Zabuza used the opportunity to appear. Tazuna was going to die. Kakashi turned, believing that Zabuza had been caught up in the attack, but no, he had moved the moment that he created the mist. He wasn't going to make it. He wasn't fast enough to reach there. As he stood right behind Tazuna due to Naruto telling Sakura and Sasuke to stand back, Tazuna had to step back. Thus, he grabbed the blade and swung it. Naruto could hear the blade ripping through the sky. Immediately stopping his breath, Naruto stomped on the ground, grabbing the nearby stone. He flicked it with such force, it was able to cancel out the amount of strength that Zabuza swung his blade with. Immediately, deflecting the blade, Zabuza's hand was thrown back. Naruto was in front of him. Immediately, Naruto grabbed onto the guard that he used to hold his blade on his back and threw him. Zabuza could not stop himself as Kakashi backhanded him into the ground. Zabuza crashed down hard. Kakashi flipped and came down, but once again, the demon showed that he was much more than a normal ninja as he flipped away. He got back to his feet as an epic battle took place. Kazuna questioned, how am I alive? Naruto smiled towards Amanda, thumbs up. I told you, we were going to keep you safe. However, Kakashi was kicked onto the water, and Zabuza was prepared. Having created a water clone that Kakashi burst immediately. The water that fumbled around Kakashi's vision gave Zabuza the time to quickly emerge as he proceeded to submerge Kakashi in a bubble of water, trapping him inside. The copy ninja was trapped as Zabuza was ready to go after the kids. That was until Naruto raised his leg and slammed it down on the pavement. The force sent out a violent shockwave that split the water. Zabuza had to jump away as Kakashi leaped away the moment Zabuza's hand left. Zabuza landed with a shocked look on his face. What the hell? What the hell is that brat? Sasuke and Sakura looked down, seeing the gaping trench that Naruto created by simply stepping on the ground too hard. Kazuna had to rub his eyes, seeing things that, quite frankly, made absolutely no sense. Kakashi wasn't the one that dealt the final blow though. It was a hunter ninja that showed up. The copy ninja collapsed afterwards, as Naruto picked him up with one arm, before he held him like a little baby. Look, said Naruto, poking fun at his sensei, as Sakura started to laugh. The situation a moment ago was insanely tense, so this was, well, good laughter. Even Sasuke cracked a smile, and Kazuna chuckled slightly, as Kakashi grumbled under his breath. They got him back to the house. Kazuna was curious, as he can't really understand how was Naruto doing the things that he did. However, Naruto saw the land of wave. Never been outside of Konoha before, Naruto was shocked, as he saw the way the people were living. It was bad, worse than he expected. Kazuna released a breath. That is why he will build a bridge. That is why he will build this bridge, because he will make his people free of Gato once and for all. Naruto had the ability to help build the bridge a lot faster, but in that moment Naruto decided that he would not, realizing that this was not just a bridge that would symbolize the village being free of their enemy. It was something that would fill their pride. Naruto knew what it felt like to bring something, to be a part of something big. Him joining Team 7, him becoming a ninja was something that he craved for the longest time now. So that is why he would not intervene, but he would protect Kazuna. Kakashi told him some rather surprising news. He believed the hunter nin wasn't a real hunter ninja. Time skip. Naruto knew that the child was just a child, but he got a bit too angry. Yes, he did, as he left the house. The boy's words about them not experiencing pain, it brought back a lot for Naruto, as he simply decided to work it out with his fists. Unfortunately though, he tore the entire land apart. The entire surface was ripped. The trees, everything was destroyed. When Haku, the fake hunter ninja, arrived, he was shocked. But this was his chance to kill this boy. But he couldn't do it. He could not. Waking up Naruto, they spoke. He had a question for him. Well, I guess the new people that are in my life are precious to me. Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi Sensei, and also Gigi. The Hokage of my village. Naruto spoke, happy with everyone that was there, speaking about the ramen people as well. Haku smiled here and that. As Naruto noticed a basket, Naruto realized that it was his fault. That is why the herbs were no longer here, because he ended up destroying the place. However, Haku had something else on mind. Another location where he can get the herbs. Yes, another location. But it was really dangerous. There was no hesitation as Naruto wished to accompany him. Questioning, Naruto believed that it was a girl, but he was shocked, as he was even prettier than Sakura. Now that was insane. Haku was thinking that, given the location that they were going, this boy could accidentally fall in and die, and his hands would be clean, but even then, he would still hesitate when it comes to saving him. You see, they made their way towards a different part of the land. The rushing tides of the water was violent out here. Most of them were tides of whirlpool. However, the herbs were planted in that little section down below. Haku had rope. Naruto told him that he can simply hold on to it. Don't worry, I'm strong enough, said Naruto. Haku tied the rope to himself, slowly making himself go down. Surprised by Naruto ease the way he let him down. He hadn't revealed that he was a ninja or that he possessed any of the skills. However, he landed on the platform rather easily. The herbs that were here were much more powerful than the ones that were bred in the field. Things like these were always in dangerous spots. However, the ground started to crack, but he didn't notice. Before he knew it, it broke away. Luckily, he grabbed the basket. Pull me up, he said. As Naruto started to pull, the sharp rocks stabbed into the rope and it broke. Haku fell, unable to grab onto anything as he was in mid-air. He held onto the basket due to his insistence of saving his master. Perhaps releasing it might have saved his life. He fell into the massive whirlpool. His body was pulled under and thrown. All of the herbs were being taken out of the basket. They were going to be destroyed. Not really caring about his own life, but his master's survival. He was pulled underneath, the whirlpool throwing him around, when suddenly, Naruto descended into the water. Not caring about the deadly whirlpool, not caring about anything, really. Haku was stunned as Naruto flexed his arms and extended them to the side. He started to spin, generating a force that was able to completely destroy the whirlpool. But Haku has been under for a long time. He started to sink, running out of breath. His sole purpose to regain the herbs, not really focused on his own oxygen. However, he felt the arm wrapped around his waist though. Haku coughed up water, looking around. Jeez, you scared me, said Naruto, as he was soaking wet. Haku was confused. You saved me. Yeah, you fell in, said Naruto. But the whirlpool. You saw it, right? Of course I did, said Naruto. But it could have killed you. Why would you risk your life for mine? You barely know me. So what, said Naruto. You were in danger and I helped. I don't see a problem with that. The sheer generosity and kindness from this person. And Haku memories start to return of what happened underwater. The way he disarmed the whirlpool, that shouldn't be possible. He jumped up the herbs. Don't worry, said Naruto, I got those too. Holding up the basket, Haku was stunned. He got each and every one of them. It was shocking. Time skip. He told himself that he was doing recon on the enemy, trying to learn more, but Naruto had told him to meet him here back again. They can pick some more herbs in different places, so if his friend get hurt again, he will have more medicine. Haku did not need them because the amount that he got was more than enough. However, he came. Haku didn't have friends. His livelihood didn't allow him to have friends. So it was strange. In a short amount of time, they became friends. As Naruto was back at the house and returned here, his new friend Haku. Things went like that until the day finally came. As Haku was getting ready, the hesitation was there. Zabuza questioned him on that. Told him that he has to do whatever it takes this time. There will be no hesitation, but the guilt was overwhelming because Zabuza had no idea what he's been up to. Naruto accidentally overslept on that night. Yes, he overslept as Team 7 made their way off. Another protection, not to mention, with Naruto being at the home, no thugs could actually come and take the mother and, well, son away. Naruto had seen the changes in Inari due to the conversation that Kakashi had with him. He was just a child and things were hard, so he lashed out. As Naruto think that he was a good child as well. Awoken by the sound, as Inari showed no hesitation to save his mother's life. He would have been cut down as Nami tried to stop him. She was knocked out. However, both of the blades were grabbed rather easily. You shouldn't hurt children, said Naruto. Naruto threw the two men across the land literally. You could see their bodies going and going until they were gone. Inari was stunned as Naruto smiled at him. I told you that you were a hero, he said. The child was tearing up. Don't worry, Naruto said, placing a finger to his chest. I'll make sure that this is all over, and that's a promise. By the time Naruto got to the bridge, Sasuke was struggling despite having recently awakened his Sharingan. As his speed and everything had gotten stronger, but his body was reaching its limits. Hey, Sasuke blinked in shock. You idiot. You should have stayed outside. No, you're trapped in here with me. Don't worry, said Naruto. I got this. He got to his feet. Hey you, he said, looking towards the mirror. I'll give you one chance. Haku hesitated behind the mask. One chance to give up or else. Haku's voice was darker as he spoke, trying to change it so Naruto did not know who he was. All he needed to do was to kill the bridge builder and then he wouldn't have to reveal his identity. He appeared in every mirror and launched attacks. However, Naruto spun. By the time Naruto stopped, he had every single Senbon in his hand. When Naruto threw them back, the amount of force that was used shattered the mirrors, shocking Haku as he jumped from one to another, using the reflection until Naruto slapped him, bypassing the speed that Haku was using to leap from one mirror to another. Naruto slapped him. Immediately the mask cracked. He was launched as he crashed into the bridge. Naruto made his way as Haku slowly rose back up. Naruto threw a fist. The force alone sent Haku into the railing. As Naruto jumped up to deliver a kick, but he stopped, lowering himself back to the ground when he saw the face. Naruto was stunned. Haku? Haku collapsed down to one knee. Naruto's blows were not exactly normal, as he spat out blood. I don't understand. Haku started to talk, apologizing, but he had no choice. His master, Naruto's eyes widened, so Zabuza is your precious person. Why? Why didn't you say anything? We are enemies. I'm not sure what kind of person you are. How you can just know someone and willingly risk your life for them that easily, but that is not the way the world works. It is filled with chaos and death and suffering. But you're different. Your strength is as great as your compassion and your kindness. I've already seen a fraction of that. And I don't believe I can best you. The power that I have to muster is nothing compared to what I've seen. Haku was saying it rather straight, as Naruto did not seem like a normal person in any way, and yet he was younger than Haku. I'm not gonna fight you, said Naruto. We don't have to fight. We can end this right now. We can still be friends. Just tell Zabuza to cancel a mission and don't go after Tazuna. I can't do that. Why? Said Naruto. Because he's my everything. You don't understand. Naruto stood there as Haku told his story, allowing Naruto to understand why he has to do what he has to do. That doesn't mean you have to be by his side for the rest of your life. That doesn't mean that you have to do something that you don't want to do. You don't like to kill. Why subject yourself to something like that? You're a person as well. You're not some tool, said Naruto. Gato was arriving on the bridge in that moment as Naruto was speaking. I'm afraid I can't change what I am. Perhaps in another life we would have been true friends. I'm not truly sure what it felt like to have friends before I met you, Haku said with a smile. Don't do this, said Naruto, as Haku gazed towards the bridge builder behind him. Please, don't, Naruto begged him. However, when he heard the sound, I'm sorry, he said with a smile as he sunk into his mirror. Naruto turned and moved towards Tazuna, but Haku didn't appear. As Naruto heard the cackling, Naruto vanished, but by the time he arrived, it was too late. Kakashi Hatake ripped through Haku's chest. Naruto stood there shocked. He stood there as Zabuza almost cut through Haku, but Kakashi was able to knock him away. Naruto was quiet, just standing there, not approaching the corpse that was a distance away. All battling came to a stop when Gato arrived, as Naruto simply stood there. Haven't seen anyone that he called a friend died. He simply stood there, and Gato started to disrespect Haku's corpse. The bridge started to tremble slightly. The ear started to vibrate. Zabuza did absolutely nothing. He didn't speak, he didn't object, as Naruto's words were pointed directly towards him. He loved you. You were everything to him. Are you just going to stand there and allow this to happen? Shut your mouth, brat. You know nothing. Haku was just a tool. Zabuza did not get to finish the sentence. Naruto had ripped the blade out of his hand. No hesitation, no remorse. Naruto split Zabuza in half, literally from head to toe. Both half collapsing on the side of the bridge. Gato was stunned and frightened. The thugs were shocked, unable to believe what they saw. As Naruto dropped the blade, Kakashi was frightened by the brutality, the lack of remorse, even though he was his enemy, as these things inside of Naruto were very cautious to look out for. But that, Naruto walked over to the side of the bridge, seeing a piece of iron that was supposed to be welded there. Naruto looked over his shoulder, and Naruto threw the iron with such force. Gato did not even know that he was dead yet. It split through his skull, but it did not stop. It did not stop as it went through several others, and it did not stop. It split through the land formation, and it kept on going and going and going and going. They lost track of it. The thugs all turned, terrified, but Naruto was in front of them. All of you, bullying these people just like they did him. You are monsters. There's only one way to get rid of monsters, Naruto said. He held his hand out like a blade. Naruto then sliced the ear Kakashi's eyes widened. The force that Naruto released decapitated and split them, tearing their body apart. Their remains were blown off the bridge cracking and quaking under the force. The ones that were lucky enough to survive had a nasty gash going through their neck. They would bleed out and die eventually though, as he did that by simply swiping his hand strong enough. When Naruto turned, Kakashi took a step back, feeling afraid. It was the brutality, the strength, the power. Naruto reached down and picked up Haku's corpse. As he simply walked away, Sakura and Sasuke looking towards him. He was quiet. His eyes were empty. As Iniri brought the people there, but it was already over. Time skip. I met him in the forest. I didn't know who he was. He could have killed me, said Naruto, but he didn't. He was my friend. He spoke to Kakashi as they arrived to see Naruto, sitting by the gravesite that he created. Zabuza was his everything, and yet he was willing to cut through him. He showed no remorse, no empathy towards his death. How can someone you spend your entire life with not care if you die? Is that the meaning of being strong? Does that qualify gaining strength to be feared? You have to give up these things, Naruto questioned. Of course not, said Kakashi, immediately stepping in. This has nothing to do with gaining strength. He just wasn't a good person. He tried to let Naruto understand. However, the rest of the trip, you could see the change in Naruto. He was quiet. He was affected by Haku's death, and that was clear. Because there was so much way that they could avoid it. There was so much way that they could have prevented Haku's death. He should still be here now. He was too kind and too gentle. He didn't deserve that. Sakura tried to cheer Naruto up, trying to talk to him the way there. Even Sasuke did as best as he could with as much as he could, as he wasn't a man of many words. But Naruto just needed some time. But he left the wave a hero though, as it came out that he was the one that defeated Gato. The people cheered and praised him. He tried his best to show his admiration to them, but most of it was forced though, as the concept of death was something that Naruto hated. He never knew his parents because they died. And someone as gentle as Haku, someone that doesn't like to hurt people, just doing as they are told. And yet, there is so much more evil in the world. People like Gato, when they are alive, they are rich, they are wealthy. What kind of system is this? What kind of world is this? Those thoughts were eating away at Naruto, and they were angering him, greatly so. And that is why he was quiet. Time skip. Kakashi had to return back to the village, as this Chunin exams will be a special one. Yes, a very special one. Kumo has never, ever sent a team to Konoha before. But this year they will be sending 3 genuine teams to participate in the upcoming exam. He had to leave Team 7 as a report had came to him to return back. Team 7 was simply picking up trash though. So far things have been getting better with Naruto in terms of what took place. It caused him to question a lot, because he took all of them down. Didn't that make him a monster as well? His childlike innocence coming in right there and then. But at the same time, they were the real monsters. Kakashi had no idea that an epic battle was taking place at the Land of Waterfalls, but at Kumo, there was a reason why the Raikage was making this move. Time after time again, many new missions were being sent to Konoha. and the other villages were starting to feel it, unaware that the sand was feeling it so much that they were going to do something drastic, something dangerous. This event, there will be a lot of dignitaries, a lot of important people. 3 teams were sent there, but one team in particular was specially made. And this team will be the one to show the other nations that, well, Kumo was the best. So the missions will pour into them, showing that their successful rate will go up. That is his motives right here and then. The Raikage had a very paranoid streak, but this was for the beneficial of his village, and this must be done. There was no doubt about that. At the moment though with Naruto, water bullets that were the size of a large tree were drilling into Naruto's face. However, while they pushed him back, there was not much damage that was dealt. Naruto looked upwards. A man known as Suyin, having drank the hero water. However, while Naruto was going to pulverize me, wanted to know, this man was your student, Naruto questioned. How? How can you turn your back on everything like that? You see, Suyin used to be the teacher of Shibuki. The new person that was supposed to be the leader of the Land of Waterfalls. His father recently passed. And at the moment Shibuki was beaten, having tried to face him but failed. How could you turn your back on all of that and try to kill him? The more time passed, the more Naruto started to see that this concept of loyalty, son, it just didn't make sense. He's never really explored the outside world before, but now the missions, they're affecting Naruto in ways that has become rather problematic. Greatly so. You know nothing, you brat. Anyone that stands in my way from me achieving what I desire will die. I am the rightful leader of this village, not him. He's just a weak, pathetic brat, he said, launching another attack towards Naruto. Once again, Naruto shrugged it off. Why the hell won't you go down? He screamed in rage, anguish. The amount of power coursing through him now could kill anyone, and yet 3 times he had bested this boy. Naruto turned as he saw Sasuke finally arriving, dealing with the group that he had brought here. There were ninjas behind Sasuke from this village, as they had dealt with the enemy. However, Naruto heard something as he turned. He saw Suyin second in command, holding Sakura by the hair, dragging her on the ground, a kunai in her hand. She was a very enjoyable masochist in terms of others feeling pain. That was perhaps the only reason why Sakura wasn't dead. I can't believe that this is what they call shinobis nowadays. Pathetic, she said. Where are the others? Suyin questioned her. She looked around as she was the only one that made it this far. Let her go, Sasuke said. Is Sharingan burning? Those eyes. Wait. Those are the famous Sharingan, aren't they? Hey, this is the last Uchiha, isn't he? Suyin looked over. Nothing special, it seems, he said. Sasuke was pissed. Attacking his teammate, his comrade, was one thing, but talking about his heritage like that was another. She heard the voice behind her. So that's it. You just enjoy causing others pain. She spun and slammed the kunai into his skull. However, she was startled. It broke. She was confused. What just? Naruto gripped her by the throat. Her hand immediately released Sakura down to the ground. As Naruto held her there, she punched and kicked, but unfortunately her blows were nothing to him. Do you just enjoy causing others pain? He said. Enjoy watching people suffer. Aren't you human as well? What kind of mindset do you possess? Naruto questioned, truly trying to understand. He has so much power, but he has never desired to cause people suffering and pain. He has never desired to hurt people, but these things that call themselves human. She started to turn blue. Suyin appeared behind Naruto as Sasuke shouted, firing a fireball to stop the man, but a powerful water burst sent them all sailing, including the ones behind Sasuke. Suyin created a blade purely made from water and drive it forward, only to see the shocked look on his comrade's face. Naruto had spun around so fast, allowing him to impale his own. He lost it. His power surged, the ground exploded in rage. What have you done? What have you done? So you do care for someone, said Naruto, and yet you're so willing to kill other people when they have someone to care for. Despite the monstrous power, despite the aura, Naruto did not move. Naruto stood face to face with a man. Well, Suyin was taller, but understanding due to the situation, Naruto did not budge, showing no fear. I'll kill you, he said. He pulled his fist back with so much power. Move, Shibuki said. Suyin struck Naruto, the ear trembled, the water flailing all about. Naruto's head barely tilted to the side. Is that all you got? Pathetic. When Naruto hit him though, the ground exploded outwards. Suyin was on the ground, his teeth broken, blood oozing out of his mouth. Did you find something down there on the ground? Said Naruto. Naruto gripped the man's hair and held him. Suyin was barely able to make functional understanding of what was going on. The sense was knocked out of him with just one punch. The after effect of the punch was not normal. The only person that did not move was Sakura, and because Naruto wouldn't allow her to be thrown away in the state that she was in, somehow the laws of physics in his strength did not truly make sense, as Naruto did not allow the force behind him to affect her in the slightest, but everyone else, including Sasuke, had to back up, as the entire environment could feel it. The rupture of the entire place shooting out. Sasuke had to dodge every debris that came his way. Suyin's mind seemed to readjust. Tell me, are you afraid? Said Naruto. See how outmatched you are. See how hopeless you are. Is that the way you made others felt? And now that you're feeling it, how do you feel? Suyin looked terrified. He slapped Naruto's hand as Naruto released him. He pulled away. No, I won't lose to a brat like you, he said. Naruto could feel the power gathering. He was gathering every ounce of his power in order to destroy Naruto. One final attack. His hair turned white. He launched. The amount of water and the force would be enough to crush buildings with ease, tear through steel, flatten mountains. As Naruto saw the supercharged attack racing towards him with the dexterity of force itself to crush and trample him. That is where the laws of physics stop making sense, as Naruto expanded his hand and gripped the force. Literally, as the technique crashed into him, Naruto stopped water. His force was so massive that it created a barrier of sorts that was larger up to the heavens, because not a single ounce of water moved. Sakura woke up as she saw it. Naruto holding back so much water, but it should flow behind him. Naruto threw it into the sky. It went beyond the clouds, and no one saw a droplet came back down. Suyin stepped back as with a single step, Naruto was in front of the man. Suyin collapsed down to his knees. He needed to know. What are you? I'm not sure, Naruto said. But I'm better than you. Stronger than you, faster than you. And on this day, you're going to die knowing that. You made a mistake. You have hurt so much people in this place, damaged so much life, for rulership, for something that you don't deserve. Naruto said as he gripped the man's throat. With the remaining energy, Suyen was barely clinging on to life. As Naruto looked into his eyes, absolute fear. Suyen was terrified. Naruto threw him into the air and clenched his fist. Space bent around his punch. When Naruto threw the punch off and hit Suyen in the gut, everyone had to cover their ears. The sound boomed in the land, ripping upwards. When everyone opened their eyes as the place was back to normal, well, the land was a mess. But the friction in the air had stopped. Sakura was the only one once again who hadn't been moved, as Naruto wouldn't allow it to hurt her. As he stood in front of her, she saw it all. She was unable to truly express. And that is what she told the Hokage as they returned back to the village. Naruto's power was growing, or perhaps it was always that powerful, but the reality of being a ninja was hitting him so hard. His limit of him holding back was loosening more and more and more and more. This wasn't good. All the members that were there, they spread the information within their own village. Little by little, within a week, information started to spread around the world. Many believed this to be false, believing that Konoha was simply putting a play in to show that they were still number one, because there was no way that a child could do something like that. However, the statement was becoming so much that people started to doubt if it was actually false. A meeting was called, as people would like to know if this was reality. Villagers started to be afraid. But this time it wasn't the fear of the Nine Tails, but the fear of Naruto himself. They all knew, many of them, that treat him badly. And the things that they were hearing were rather concerning. Having the power to level mountains with a punch. Some of them were being drastic, because they did not see anything, but from what they saw, they believed that he could do these things. The village was grateful that he saved them, but at the same time, no one should have this power. And you could tell from their reaction. People never truly knew how strong Naruto was, but now, it was becoming a real problem as everyone was discussing his strength. The Raikage heard about this and believed that Konoha released this on purpose because of him sending his teams there, trying to make it seem like they were still number one. He gave the head member of one of these teams to investigate the subject to see if this was indeed reality, if Konoha did possess a child with such strength that was truly invincible. However, when the people came to Konoha, the shopkeepers and those people, and when someone spoke about him and they heard the name, a name that has long been silenced, the problem was, the name Uzumaki wasn't just any normal name. Meanwhile, at the Hidden Stone, Oniki looked over the report that was sent back to him. Naruto Uzumaki. A long time ago, a clan of demons. That was the only way to describe them. Uzumakis were strong, fast. Their vitality, their regenerative abilities were on a completely different level. It took almost everyone combining their force to wipe them out. Because the Uzumakis were ruthless. They enjoyed the lust of the battle. The Uzumakis were a powerful, dreadful clan. Going up against them meant certain death. They were a single clan and one village could not best them. Yes, they were a single clan like the Uchiha and one village could not best them. They were mighty, they were powerful. There was a Uzumaki that was sent to Konoha due to the ties that were set a long time ago between Mito Uzumaki and Hoshirama Senju. Thus, they needed Jinjulikis. But the Uzumakis never truly got into the war. Providing specialized seals and tags and those things were there, but they never truly got into Konoha war. But they did show favoritism towards the village, which led the others to team up to eviscerate them. And now, this boy might be in the last sole surviving Uzumaki has returned, and the things that they were hearing was truly concerning, dreadfully so. People did not take too long to put the theory to a test. It was 2 weeks after as Naruto was currently within training ground 7. His eyes were closed as he was trying to do something. Someone appeared behind him. Naruto heard the metal. The metal was being pulled out of its sheath as someone stood behind him with a blade. Whoever this was and how they got in Konoha was another story entirely. Slash! But guys, me and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off now, see you guys soon. Peace.